Hey, it's Dr. DeCubellis here. When we're talking about children, especially children who are having neurodevelopmental issues, autism, OCD, ADHD, all these different things, there's going to be an effect that happens with them. What I mean by that is these children are more likely than not to have disorders with like anxiety or depression. And it makes perfect sense. Think about this. When these children are getting impulses or they're getting different sensory input coming in, their brain makes a decision to create this output based on that information. They think that output is what normally should be happening, and they expect to get a certain response from it, just like anyone else. But when the response they get from others is not what they were expected to get, it creates dysfunction with the way they think about that, and they internalize that. Just think if you were to go out and you got asked a question, and you're in front of a couple people, you get asked a question, and you answer it with what you think is going to be the right answer. And all those people just stare at you and look at you strange and just walk away. You're now going to internalize that and say, I don't understand why that was wrong. Maybe there's something wrong with me with the way that I'm processing this. You start to internalize it. This is how anxiety, depression, and even mental stress starts to form. So it makes sense that when we're dealing with people with these types of issues, these things are going to be added on. These mental stress type of issues are very common because, again, they're getting differing responses from others than what they're expecting or even from their environment, and they don't understand why. So we have to understand that when we're dealing with these types of issues, it's very common to have the secondary functions as well. So both are connected, and we have to look at this and we have to treat this as both being connected too. You have to be very careful with the way you respond and the way that you act around them because they're going to internalize these things just like anyone else does. They're no different when it comes to that. But that's why there's such a high rate of anxiety or even developing things like OCD and depression because they're not getting the response that they expect and they don't understand why. I hope that leads a little bit more and makes it a little bit more clear, but it's something I definitely wanted to make sure that everyone understood and had the knowledge about.